Fox News alert, President Trump extending the ceasefire with Iran. The pause in fighting is expected to last several more days. Meantime, President Trump is calling out Democrat Senator Chris Murphy, who took this anti-American stance at Barcelona.
I want to bring you greetings as well from a nation that is in crisis. I'm not going to sugarcoat the gravity of what we face right now in the United States. This is the most significant threat to American democracy since the Civil War. Donald Trump in our country is trying to end our democracy. His goal is oligarchic capture.
The president today telling Martha McCallum that those remarks are, quote, probably treason. Joining me now, Pennsylvania Democrat Senator John Fetterman. Senator, it's always good to see you. Thanks for being here with us today. You have said in the past, Senator, that you do think Democrats have forgotten that Iran is the bad guys. And I'm listening to Senator Murphy, and he's gone a step further in seeming to say that America, in fact, is the bad guy. Do you agree with the president that that sounds treasonous?
I don't think it's treasonous, but I strongly, in the strongest terms, disagree with that. You know, our democracy is not in crisis. You know, we are in a divided time, without a doubt. And now remind everybody that Iran for 47 years has been the ultimate bad guy and committed to destroying Israel, and actually with us too. So pick a side when you're in a war. As soon as I get off from this interview, I'm going to go over to vote for the fifth time that supports Epic Fury. Now, I think why you don't have to agree with everything that's happened in Epic Fury when, I mean, I'm old enough to remember that when our military is involved, you all just line up and get behind them and give them an opportunity to accomplish those goals, because these goals were not, you know, new or shocking to Democrats. We've all agreed we can never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear bomb. When we're in this opportunity, we're right there at the cusp. Why vote against that? Now, if you're giving a speech in Spain, of course, you're going to say those kinds of things. The way that Spain has behaved during Epic Fury and before, they would even do kinds of petty things that they boycotted Eurovision because of Israel's involvement in it, just that kind of thing. Now, Europe really has forgot the history as well, too, you know, what America did during World War II and what happened to the Jewish community in Europe, you know, the last time.
Right.
So that's why I'm proud to stand, you know, firmly with Israel and our military where we're at now.
Harder to explain the point of view from someone from Spain. I wonder if you're going to agree with me here, Senator. In explaining the point of view of the left, the modern left, the American left, it seems to be just being on the other side of anything from Donald Trump. You posted this on X a while back. You posted that the modern left in 2026 is checkmark to Hamas, checkmark to Nazi tattoos, X to Israel and the Iron Dome. And I presume the Nazi tattoos are a reference to Graham Platner, who's running for Senate.
Yeah, the same ghoul that was lurking on the internet that was celebrating a video of Hamas killing and torturing and beating Israeli soldiers to death. I mean, I don't know the kind of person that do that. Probably the kind of person that has a Nazi tattoo on his chest. And now Piker, today, the New York Times put Piker in like a sewing circle now, and they have a bunch of people sitting around talking about sharing passwords on Netflix, and they're just kind of more normalizing a guy that absolutely proudly loves Hamas. He cheers for Hamas. So that's where
what's going on, Senator? What's going on? I think you accurately diagnosed the left, or at least you're capable of recognizing the symptoms. But what's going on? Is this simply TDS? Is it anti-Semitism? Is it hatred of Israel? How does the left, in your own diagnosis, end up loving Hamas and sporting Nazi tattoos?
Yeah, no, I mean, so that without a doubt. I mean, I think I'm the only Democrat that's calling it out and normalizing those things. They are, without a doubt, they're moving the overture window. For people who are familiar with that, that's really a term to describe what Democrats are allowed to support publicly without making it controversial and to make it more acceptable to the base. And that's exactly what's happened, becoming openly, aggressively anti-Israel. That's becoming part of our platform. 80% of Democrats view Israel in a negative light, and now only 4% of Democrats support epic fury. And I'm definitely part of both of those circles in that very, very small piece that's left, because that's the right side. And I don't ever want to be on the wrong side of history that says, well, I'm going to vote against our military, and it's going to be okay if Iran acquires a nuclear bomb. And now I bet I will be the only Democrat to congratulate both the president, but also the families in Iran, that they are going to choose not to execute those female protesters in Iran. I hope that's true. You know, heartbreaking the way they would hang young people just because they wanted democracy. Why would I probably be the only Democrat to say, hey, that's a good thing, and that's also a powerful reminder of the kinds of the country that Iran is.
Well, let's hope that's not true. Let's hope you're not the only Democrat. Let's end on a lighter note. You're a Western PA guy. The NFL draft is tomorrow, so you're going to be tuned in for what the Steelers do. The draft is in Pittsburgh, so that's big for your state.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, that's a huge win. You know, like that's fantastic. I mean, Steeler Nation. I mean, that's our official religion, without a doubt. There at Western PA, I mean, that doesn't mean I'm anti-Eagle. I mean, that's the kind of
ever the politician. Ever the politician, Senator. I'm going to run out of time. Convenient for a Cowboys fan to cut off Steeler talk.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.